Hello and welcome to the Nova Show Real Estate Records. I am Tristan Hammett, your host for today's episode. And today I am thrilled to have Nick Manville join us. Nick has been in the Utah real estate for over 20 years, which means he's seen multiple markets, plenty of hype cycles, and a lot of hard lessons along the way. He works with buyers and sellers across different price points and is known for keeping things steady, clear, and grounded in facts when emotions run high. We're talking about what experience really teaches, how he helps clients think long-term, and what today's market is actually asking of people. Let's welcome Nick. Okay, Nick. So I've met Nick quite a few times. I'm excited to have him here. And Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And then we'll kind of fast forward in how you got into the real estate world.
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in Southern California. I've been in Utah for a little over 20 years, so about the same time as I've been in real estate.
Oh, wow.
I live in a sugar house, 4 kids, wife, typical Utah family.
Okay. Awesome. So you moved here and then were you married previously or did you meet your wife here? Or?
Yeah. So I was doing some summer sales door to door and then ended up moving to Provo with my brother. And that's where I met my wife. And I didn't necessarily care where I lived, and she wanted to live here in Salt Lake. And so that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved here, you were doing door to door. And then what made you get into real estate?
So door to door sales really was the foundation for my real estate career. I realized that I could sell and I could work for myself and make really good money. And so I looked really for the biggest ticket item with the lowest barrier of entry, and we all know that's real estate.
Okay.
And so I got my real estate license right when we got married. I was 24.
Okay. Well, not being from Utah, you didn't have this SOI. So how did you get the ball rolling within real estate?
Yeah, no SOI. And so what I did was my first year in real estate, I knocked doors. That's all I did. And at that time, short sales were starting to get pretty popular. And I would print off the notice of default lists every morning from the county. And then I would go and knock doors, usually from like after lunch, 12, 1 o'clock until dark. So like 8 o'clock. Wow. And I would just knock doors for people who were in default. And that first year, I think I took like 14 listings, which was great.
Wow.
Didn't work with a single buyer, but it was a decent income for a young kid. And I felt like it was a fairly easy gig, right? I just go out and knock doors.
That's so cool. So obviously like your door-to-door sales experience definitely helped you in door knocking for short sales.
Helped, kind of overcome that fear. There's still always that fear of knocking on someone's door, but it helped a lot.
Okay. And so I know you are a solo agent now. Have you always been a solo agent? Was there a time that you ever joined a team?
So in that time frame at the beginning of my career, I did join a team that specialized in short sales, and I worked with them and got a few leads here and there, but the team support was good. And I did that for maybe a few years, and then broke off on my own. Was solo for a long time, and then in 2000, I want to say it was 2010, is when I joined another brokerage. And after being at that brokerage for a couple of years, I went into management, and so I spent most of my career in management up until 2 years ago.
Okay, I do remember this. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So are you seeing short sales? Like, are we going in that direction again right now?
I'm seeing a few, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
There are a few. If someone bought any time in the last 3 years, there's a good chance that they have to sell and they don't have the ability, to sell it for less than what they owe or equal to what they bought it for. They could be in a short sale situation. We haven't seen the market really increase in value in 3 years.
Wow. And I feel like the 3-2-1s or the 2-1 buy downs are kind of coming to an end.
Oh, yeah.
Or they already did.
Yeah.
And the interest rates haven't dropped significantly enough.
Yeah, they haven't. This last week, I feel like rates dropped to the lowest point we've seen in that 3-year time period, but not as low as we would have thought. And so the 3-2-1, the 2-1s, those buy downs definitely could put somebody in a tough situation if they were banking on keeping that lower rate.
Okay. So I know you, and you are heavy on SOI and referrals and things like that now.
Yeah.
Do you still what kind of advice? I know we're going to talk about short sales, but what kind of advice would you give to people that are in this situation that they have to go into a short sale?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if I had a client or someone like you're talking about that's in a situation where they're financially distressed, they can't afford the mortgage, maybe they didn't put enough money down on the home to offset the fees to sell it. I would probably I'd lay out a few options for them.
Probably depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on the person, but option number one is if they really, really want to keep the home, there's a chance that they could negotiate a loan modification with their lender. And a lot of lenders are open to loan modifications, getting that rate down, maybe changing the terms. Despite all the hype around that 50-year mortgage that was talked about, that actually 40 and maybe even 50-year mortgages are an option in some loan modification situations. So that person may be able to call up their bank, get a permanent lower interest rate, and also get it amortized over 40 years and be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
If they don't want to keep the home and they just want to sell it and there's no equity there, then short sale could be the best option for them. They could also consider seller financing if they want to do that. They could rent it. It's really situational.
Okay. Well, thank you for all that. I actually don't know. I remember 2008 and foreclosures and all of that. But I wasn't in the industry then. So,
and I don't even know if I remember how to do a short sale, but I can figure it out.
It's
gonna be like riding a bike, right? You'll remember, but it has been a long time since we've really had to deal with those. And I don't see them coming back in such a large surge. It's going to be a small amount of people that are in that situation, I think.
Okay, so I'm excited to talk about how when you were in this management role, and then you came out of that and you're actively doing real estate now. So when you were in that management role, were you still staying in front of your SOI, your friends and your family? Were you still doing transactions? How did that work? And then I want to talk about how you kind of took off after you were in that management role. So I want to talk about those two things.
Yeah. So the management role was on and off, like I said, for probably 10 plus years or so. And during that time, I would sell a few homes here and there, but I wasn't actively working my database. I wasn't actively working my SOI. And there was a time period between 2020, I think timeline, 2020 and 2023-ish, I think, where I had worked for a few different companies. I'd worked for a coaching company. It was kind of my midlife crisis, but I was still always selling real estate. And I had the opportunity to come back to the brokerage that I had worked at before as a manager. I had the opportunity to come back as a manager, and I took that job opportunity because in that midlife crisis time, as you can imagine, everything was just kind of crazy. So to have some stability in my life and for my family, it was huge, right? It meant a lot. And so I took that job, and then within a little over a year of taking that job, they let me go. I would say I got fired for the second time from the same company. But they let me go due to market conditions. And, that's when the real estate market really started to dip was that 2003, right? So in October of 2003 is when they let me go. And at that point, I had made the choice to never go back or depend on anyone again for my livelihood. And I was determined. And from my past experiences of working for the coaching company and being around coaching, I knew that I wanted somebody to help me. I knew what I needed to do because I'd been in the business for so long, but I wanted that help. And so I was grinding October until January, maybe February of 04. And that's when I hired my coach. And I mean, and this has happened multiple times, but I remember my wife being like, there's just no way, right? We can't afford it. Credit cards are maxed out. Like there's no money there, right? So this was like, when I spent that money on coaching, it was real money. It wasn't credit card money. It wasn't, a loan. This was like real money out of the bank account. And I think that's really what drove my success, because I had to make it work. And I also trusted not only the coach and the coaching company, but those that were with the coaching company and had success. And I leaned on that evidence to say, okay, like I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do, and it's going to work. And it did.
Wait, why do you think that? Do you feel like, because you said, I already knew what I had to do, right? But then, like, what do you feel made the change? Because you already know what you have to do, but then a coach telling you what to do. Was it the accountability aspect, or that you paid money for it? Like,
yeah, it's a good thought. Having the accountability is very helpful. It's helpful for me, and I think it's helpful for most people to have that accountability. But also, in our industry and in any industry, when you have those hard days, when you have those doubts, when you don't know what to do in a certain situation, it's nice to have someone to lean on that's been there. And that can tell you, okay, it's okay, and reassure you of what you already know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that's what the coaching has done for me is having someone there, but also giving me ideas and strategies that I didn't know. I mean, there's things that I do now that I would have never, ever done before, even thought to do before. And that has been invaluable as well. And so starting off again, little over 2 years ago, most of my friends, family, neighbors knew I did real estate, but I was not in front of them. And now I am.
Yeah. Okay. So I've heard you speak before. Like, what is, if you are willing to share, like one thing that you feel like really changed your business in these last couple of years to get in front, if you're willing to share?
Yeah, of course. Let's see. I'm trying to think what would be the best, the one or two things. I would say consistent contact with my SOI, and like Facebook and Instagram, really.
Okay.
I don't know if you see me on there at all, but I post a lot. And the experts will tell you not to post a lot of real estate stuff, but I post when a house gets listed, when it goes under contract, when it's just sold. I'll post videos when I'm out with clients, showing up to an open house. And so the difference now is that my SOI sees me as being an active agent rather than a passive one. And I get a lot of people that will contact me that I haven't been in contact with for 20 plus years.
Wow.
I actually took a list. I have a listing right now. It's a land listing in just out past Tooele for $18 million. That land listing is from an old college roommate that I hadn't talked to for 20 years.
What?
Yeah. And he just saw how active I was on social media and reached out and said, hey, I want your help on this.
And isn't that just amazing that you're social media is free.
It's free.
I don't know if I know you're probably.
I don't pay for anything.
You don't pay for anything?
Mm-mm.
You do all your social media marketing?
Yeah, I mean,
like posting and.
Yeah, the posting. I have my assistant, Natalie, who will do some of the posts. But for the most part, yeah, it's just me throwing listings on there. It's me doing the, little videos as I'm out showing property or showing up for an open house on Saturday. I actually had a client the other day. I was making my client calls. And he said, the thing that I think is cool about you is that there's so many agents out there that are trying to either build these big teams or leverage. He's like, you're the one who's showing up on Saturday. You're the guy who's at the open house.
Mm-hmm. You're the one that's going in the office.
I'm the one that's going.
I see you in the office, and yeah. I do have to say, sure there's agents that do well and don't go to the office, but I feel like there's a lot of common denominators.
Sure.
And I always see you at the office.
Yep.
Plugging away. So I do have to say, that is you. Mm-hmm. So, and that I'm sure also makes a difference. You treat it like your job.
Yeah. I'm super regimented. I kind of always have been. But my day starts at 5:30 a.m. I'm up. I do a little, morning meditation. I drink my pre-workout, go to the gym. I have a certain amount of time to get ready, get my kids ready, get them out the door, drop them off at school. And then I'm meeting with my assistant in my office every morning at the exact same time as well. So I have a minute to kind of get ready. But yeah, I mean, if I don't show up every single day at 9 a.m., right, I have an employee there that's depending on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about that. So there's a lot of agents that get stuck on the when do I hire? Mm-hmm. When do I get an assistant? Who's my first hire? So where did you feel in your business that you were like, I need an assistant? Was it right away? Was it where were you in your business that you were like, I need help?
So I don't think I ever would have hired my assistant. I hired her last year at this time, and I never would have done it if it wasn't, again, for my coach last year telling me that I needed to do it and to trust the process. Mm-hmm. If I could say anything on this podcast, find a mentor or somebody who is where you want to be and trust that process. Mm-hmm. I don't remember how many transactions I was doing. I don't remember where I was at in my business this time last year. But I do remember him saying, Nick, hire an assistant and I promise it'll work out. I mean, I was so nervous. I mean, I was nervous to pay for coaching, right?
Yeah.
I think most of us as agents are nervous to pay for anything. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time we don't know where our next paycheck is going to come from. Mm-hmm. And so hiring the coach gave me the courage to continue to trust the process, hire my assistant, which I've had now we're just maybe a few weeks shy of a year.
Okay.
And who knows what's next, but
what are some of the tasks that she does for you?
So she'll do really anything.
Okay.
But most of the stuff that Natalie handles is, so all the transaction coordinating, so contract to close. She schedules all of my appointments for me. So if I have a buyer, let's say I have a buyer and we're going to go look at property tomorrow afternoon, she's the one who's coordinating with the client, setting up the showings, building out the schedule, setting times, all of that.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was actually really scary. I remember the first time I went to go meet a buyer, I didn't know anything about where we were going, what homes we were looking at. I mean, anything. It was just in my schedule. So she manages my schedule, right? So it's like, Nick, you're going here at 3:00 and here's your, clipboard with all the homes. And I just had to trust the fact that everything was scheduled and it was the way it needed to be. But she handles that. She handles all the client gifts. So right now she's out shopping at Target. I put a buyer under contract over the weekend. So when we go under contract with the client, we mail them a package in the mail with their favorite treats and a thank you card and all kinds of fun stuff like the brookies I gave you.
So good.
And then she's shopping also for a client that's closing on Friday. And the same thing. Sometimes I'll hand deliver. This client specifically is a remote closing. And so we're going to mail her a package.
That's amazing.
So Natalie does all that stuff that I normally would have tried to do on my own, but like I'm just a normal
But
like
some would fall
45-year-old
through
guy, right?
the cracks, and some would,
Like I don't know what to buy. That's cute.
I don't know. You brought me these. Okay, just a little quick plug. He brought me these things called Brookies from Trader Joe's. They're cookies and brownies, and it's like the most amazing thing ever. So just go try it because
yeah, they're good.
they're so good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so cool that she does that. Now, obviously, these are systems and processes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you come up with them, or did she help you come up with them?
Some of them I came up with. Some of them she's come up with. Others have been from my mentors and coaches that have told me, "Hey, Nick, this is what you need to do." So I actually had a coaching call earlier today, and my coach was telling me some more stuff that I needed to implement in my business. So then tomorrow morning when I meet with Natalie, we'll talk about what we can implement in the process, and then she'll be in charge of making sure that happens. And I mean, she'll do everything. Like even this morning, I went to a doctor's appointment with my wife. She knows a lot of times if I don't check my schedule, I'll forget stuff.
Oh.
Like I'll show up at the office a lot of times, and she's like, "You're supposed to be here." So she texted me last night and said, "Hey, Nick, remember you're going to the doctor's with your wife at 8:45, and then you've got to be here at the office at 9:30." So she keeps me on track,
On task.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
and doesn't let me forget stuff.
Good.
Makes me look good.
Yeah.
Answers all my
Makes
client
you look
phone
great.
calls.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome
Great.
that you found somebody that and being with you for a year, that's really awesome that you found somebody that can help you out that much.
yeah, right now she's answering emails and phone calls. So I don't have a separate email. So she manages my email. So if you send me an email and you get a reply, 90% of the time it's gonna be Natalie,
Okay.
right?
How did that feel to just like let that go? I feel like it'd be hard.
It's hard, and it's taken a long time. But what I've learned is originally I created like an admin email and all that phone number and all that sort of stuff. But I realized that my clients still wanted to contact me. So to bridge that gap, now Natalie is me.
Okay. Yeah.
So if somebody calls or texts, they don't know.
Well, and then that kind of eliminated the whole thing. Like if they emailed you, you'd have to forward it over to Natalie,
Yeah.
So it kind of just takes that whole thing out.
She just handles most stuff. She'll send me a text if she's like, "Hey," or she'll put something in a draft for the email and say, "Make sure you're okay with me sending this."
Oh, perfect.
God,
it's so wild. That's cool.
But yeah, for the most part, she can handle a lot of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so, how like what your clients' favorite things are for these gift baskets and things?
Yeah,
it's like a about you page, right?
Yeah. So I fill that out, and I actually try to do that with a client. Sometimes Natalie will, but that's something I like to do.
Okay.
So I'll call him up. I'll say, "Hey, Tristan, I'm so excited to be working with you. One thing that I love to do is I love to give my clients gifts. Like I love it. Okay. And so I just have a few questions I want to ask you. What's your birthday? What's your favorite drink or beverage? Right. Sometimes when you say drink, they're like whiskey. Right? So, which is fine. But favorite drink, favorite treat. I like to know their favorite sports team, stores, hobbies, if they have children and pets, just everything about them. And the thing that I love about that conversation is at the end, I really do know them super well. And I usually remember most of it.
I love that.
We keep that on file. And then, like I said, when they list, when they go under contract, when they close, on their birthday, they get a birthday card from me. And we track it all.
And how special to make people feel on their birthday or home anniversary or whatever, when it only took you a couple minutes in the very beginning of meeting them, but that actually will continue on for as long as you know them.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing Natalie's in charge of too is she tracks all of the thank you cards and birthdays and anniversaries and house anniversaries and everything. And so every morning on my desk, she'll have my schedule for the day, and then she'll have 4 cards. And so I actually handwrite 4 cards every single day.
That's amazing.
And I'll put in, we have a drawer full of gift cards as well. So we've got anything from Amazon to Cold Stone to Sephora, whatever. And then I'll drop a gift card in there, and that goes in the mail.
That is awesome.
So we send out a lot of thank you cards, a lot of gift cards. But it's fun. I love doing it.
Mm-hmm. I love that you have a mentor and coach still.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all these years later, you just know how important that is in your business, and you invest in yourself. And before we even started recording, you said you had a coaching call, but then you mentioned I'm a student.
Yeah.
And I love how you rephrase that, because you're always learning and growing and
always learning and growing. Yeah. I can't imagine that I would ever stop having a coach. It's so incredible to have someone, and you're paying them, but still have someone spend that time to teach you what they're doing to get to where they are faster. Like, I don't need to try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just need somebody to tell me what to do,
Yeah.
and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Especially now, 2 years later. I mean, I know it works. So anything that they tell me to do, I'm going to do.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so let's talk about some of the ways that you stay in front of your clients, which I know you just mentioned a lot. What about client events?
I'll do a handful of client events. Despite what you see, I'm actually pretty socially awkward.
Really?
I'm introverted. I don't like,
I would have never guessed.
I'm a natural introvert. Okay. It's funny when my wife will say, "This is Nick happy. This is Nick sad." Like, this is Nick angry, right? There's just no emotion. Like, I'm just a natural introvert. I will do a few client events, but I prefer one-on-one. So after this podcast, I have a membership at an indoor golf lounge, and I'm going there. I'm meeting a client there, and we're going to golf for a couple hours together. And
how fun is that?
that's super fun.
Okay, so you prefer doing.
So I do a lot of one-on-ones, but I will do the bigger events as well. I'll do 2 or 3.
And do you plug into the brokerage for those? Yeah, that's great.
Plug into the brokerage. I'll partner with lenders and other affiliates on the bigger events. But the way I stay in front of clients is the cards that I send out, the one-on-ones, whether it's golf or lunch, and then every once in a while the bigger events.
Okay. Are you a reader?
I do. I read a lot.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are some books that you feel have really helped you, business and personal? Like, what are some of your, maybe top 2 favorites?
Top 2 favorites. Wow. So from an author standpoint, I love John Maxwell. Any book by John Maxwell is incredible from a business and from a personal standpoint. And if you've read John Maxwell, you know about him and his life as a pastor and just who he is as a person. And so I love John Maxwell. I love Darren Hardy's Compound Effect.
Yes.
Right? That's incredible. It's a classic.
Easy read too.
Easy read, classic book.
Yeah.
I'd have to look on my phone here to see. I do a lot of Audible. As realtors, we tend to
drive around
quite a bit. And rather than bebopping down the highway, right? Sometimes I do enjoy that. So right now I'm re-listening to Atomic Habits, which I probably listened to, numerous times. I love Atomic Habits. Let's see, what else do I have on here? I have the Compound Effect. I have Mel Robbins is fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love Mel. The Let Them Theory, that was popular, a few years ago?
Yeah.
And that's a great book.
I
think that's great for anybody, but I mean, you think about real estate and how often you deal with problems and rejection and just all the emotions that go with a transaction. That let them theory was great.
I can see why people got that tattooed on them, because it's like a constant reminder. It's a practice.
Yeah.
Right? Just to kind of like,
Yep.
just let them.
Let them. Got Cameron Haynes and Durr. All kinds. David Goggins, right?
No. Okay. I haven't read any of his books, but my husband listens to him.
Oh man. Can't Hurt Me it's hard to listen to. Actually, I think it's really hard to hear his story and what he went through. But I do love books like that, because when you listen to those type of stories, it's a lot easier. Like you're like, if he can endure that, I can get on the phone and make like 10 phone calls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like my life isn't that hard.
Right.
So yes, I read and listen to a lot of books.
Again, forever student.
Forever student.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I love that. And what are some of your goals that you have, either in the next year or 5 years?
Yeah, I have set a lot of goals in the past. Right now, most of my goals are focused on income and business, but like I had a goal a few years ago to run a marathon. I did that.
Awesome.
Which was awesome. Right now, my biggest goal is making $1 million
Okay.
in 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Which I can. Yeah.
Yeah, you totally can.
And I may actually do it this year.
Wow.
So, which would be fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And for me, it's not even necessarily about the $1 million, right? You hear this a lot, and maybe it's a little cliche, but like who I have to become to get to that point.
That's what you're.
And it was much like the marathon, because my marathon story, the first year that I trained for it, I got to mile 20. I did a 20-mile training run, and I got hurt. And I remember like 2 or 3 weeks before the marathon, I was at this Cafe Rio over here on a Friday night with my wife, and we're staying in line, and she asked me about it. And like I said, I am not emotional. She says she's seen me cry maybe 5 times in my entire life. This was one of those times.
Wow.
Because I knew I had trained so hard for that, right? And
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And so the following year I went back and I trained and I ran that marathon. And there's something that happens when you push yourself to those limits, right?
Mm-hmm.
For most people, the thought of going out and running, like just going right now and running 5 or 10 miles, I know I couldn't do it because I haven't been training.
Nope.
But when I was, it was easy, right? Like I could run 5 miles in the morning in less than an hour before work and be totally fine, right? But now I'd be wrecked.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with that income goal. You know, if I can get to that and do that, it'll change the way that I think.
Oh,
My thinking has been changed by being coached. And I'm excited to the point where I can continue to be a student, but also be a coach. And I need to hit that milestone in order to do that.
Okay. So after you hit that milestone, you're thinking coaching other like agents?
For sure.
Yeah. I love this for you.
Yeah.
That's
love to be able to
amazing.
get back.
Yeah.
But I have to get to that point before I can get back and mentor and teach.
I just love that you're going to actually do it and then, become a coach rather than the other way around.
Well, so many times in my life, I've been given things freely from others, right? I've had other people help me. And I need to get to the point where I can do that and give back. And so,
which I've already seen you do those types of things.
Sure.
Right? In front of, like at a summit, and speaking and classes and things like that, you get, like that's giving back. Absolutely.
Just want to do more.
Want to do more. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah. What are some things that you feel like, in the past 20 years have, like, because obviously you've gone through harder moments where maybe sometimes you felt like you wanted to give up. How do you get through those days? Like when you said you were maxed out on your credit cards and just like, didn't have anything. How, like,
Sure.
what got you through because mentally, that's got to be really hard, especially when you've got a family and,
Sure. That's a great question. Those moments, or that particular moment in my life, I had to suck up my pride and ask for help. Right. And that was getting a coach, and that was doing some different things in my life. Oftentimes, I think just most of us in general, we want to do it ourselves. And even more so as like a man, right? You want to be able to provide and do it yourself. The biggest lesson that I've learned in the last few years of my life is that I need help, no matter what stage I'm in. If those credit cards are maxed out, if I have $1 million in the bank, I still need help from others.
And that's great to be able to recognize that.
Recognize it, humble yourself, ask for help. There's people out there that will help you, and seek it as well. So I look for opportunities every day that I can help someone.
Give me an example.
So a few years back, I had an agent, and I was in a management position still, but he had came to my office, wanting some help with his business and different things, and I ended up helping him with his personal life and really changing the trajectory of his entire life. Whereas he never would have thought that I would have been the person to relate to him or have the same experiences as him, because he looked at me differently than what I was. But because I have a couple of mantras that I say to myself, and you maybe have heard this at the summit, but I seek and expect miracles every day.
Oh, wow. I have not heard that.
Every day of my life.
Seek and accept miracles every day. Expect.
Yeah. So I'm looking for, and I'm expecting some sort of miracle to happen in that day. And that could be personal. It could be business. I don't know, but I want something amazing to happen in my life
that.
every day.
And why wouldn't we?
Right?
Why would we limit ourselves to anything other than that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great mantra.
So just focus on it, and it'll happen, and people will come into your lives that are in your life that you can help when you would never expect it, and they wouldn't either. And it might be major like that one, and it could be minor as well.
Wow. And then what was the second one?
Well, I have a lot of different things I say. Some are just funny and don't really make a whole lot of sense. There's one, my wife hates it. It's from Fast and the Furious. You know what I'm talking about?
It's been a long time since I've watched that movie.
So Vin Diesel in the first one, he says, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time."
Okay.
And I always say that. So I think it's kind of funny.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
But I live in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I totally live in the moment. I don't care about what happened 30 minutes ago. Like I could get into a fight with her or a kid or someone else and not like it doesn't even,
It's behind you.
It's behind me.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
My Vin Diesel quote.
I'm so not good at remembering, like Nick Park.
Yeah.
He's great at remembering quote. He can quote like all these movies, and I'm like, I did watch that, but I don't remember that part. I'm so bad at that, but I love that. I love
when I was running,
because it's like right there.
Yeah,
quarter mile is like
quarter mile
right
at
there.
a time, just right there. When I was running my marathon, I used to call myself an effing machine. I know we can't swear on this podcast, so
okay, but that's like
it was like,
let's
dude,
go.
I'm a machine. Let's go. And that can help me through hard days as well. But like, I am a machine.
Well, so how did you get through that time when you hurt yourself and you couldn't run that marathon? I know that it really upset you, but did you focus on getting better?
Yeah, so I took a few months off from training, and then I just I studied on a lot on what it could have been, and I changed shoes and just different things, and went for it again.
Okay, where was that one?
Salt Lake Marathon.
It was?
Yeah, I ran the Salt Lake.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. And then I ran a half mile a few months later with my wife as well, because that had kind of been one of her dreams. I actually never liked running. Her dream was to run, and she loves running and wanted someone to run with. And again, as an introvert, I like running alone. So that was, it was a labor of love. I do love running with her, but I do just love doing stuff by myself.
Yeah.
So I grew to love that, and I got back on. I trained, and even with that, I even loved being alone. I still ended up training and running with the Huntsman Cancer team.
Wow.
And so that's who I trained with and ran the marathon for, was cancer research. And it really made a big difference to have them there, not only to set up all the runs, but give you the program, lay it out, tell you exactly what to do, how many miles I was running, each day, when my long runs were. I mean, the whole schedule was built out.
Mm-hmm. It's like these little micro habits that can get you further with anything that you do.
Yeah.
Like the running.
Right.
There's all kinds of things that go into it, but you have to build these habits. You can't just go running 10 miles.
Yeah. No, and I could have Googled a plan and probably figured it out on my own, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Huntsman, they do it every year. They've got a running team, and why not join them?
Yeah, that's great. And out for a good cause.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was really good.
Yeah.
I forgot that I was on that running team and did that.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I am not a runner, so don't ask me to do a marathon. I'm more of like a treadmill for 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So where do you, what is like the best, we'll kind of end it on here. What is the best piece of advice that you've received I'm sure you've received a lot of great advice, but what's something that's always stuck with you? That's really like you think about and you're like, wow, that was like really pivotal in my life or my career.
I would say the most pivotal thing that comes to mind right now is, and this is going to sound funny, but it's a newsletter that I write every month. So that's one thing that I started last year that my coach got me to do. And I get a lot of feedback from clients. So in my newsletter, Natalie will make it cute and, do the community events, but I write something about my life in that newsletter every month.
And this is from you.
It's from me. So I write it.
It's
me. It's a story about my life during that month, something that happened. I don't talk about real estate. It's not real estate related. Has nothing to do with real estate.
And this can be anything, funny, sad, or updates, or...
Yeah, usually it's like, it's a good life lesson.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's usually a good life lesson about my life. But again, as being an introvert and not someone who would normally do that, that has been pivotal for a few things. Number one is it's fun to look back on the year and see, everything that happened in my life every month. It's a great journal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it impacts a lot of lives. Like, I'm surprised. I didn't think people would even read it, but I get a lot of comments and a lot of people that can relate to those stories, and it's different people each month.
That is so cool.
But it's been cool. It's been fun to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, and that's you also giving back. Being on this podcast is giving back, Yeah. All of these things. You've got a really big heart.
Thanks.
As introverted as you say you are, which I don't think you are. You sure spread your knowledge, your joy, your love, So
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, where can people follow you?
Nick Manville. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I think that, yeah.
Okay.
Just my
Nick
name.
Manville?
Right.
Okay.
Nick Manville.
All right.
Follow me.
Well, thank you so much for being on here. It's been so great getting to know you.
Yeah.
And thank you for the brookies.
Yeah. Thanks for reaching out. It was way fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We hope hope you enjoyed this episode. Please rate us, like us, and share this podcast with our real estate community. The Nova Show Real Estate Record, sharing raw stories of real estate, failures, lessons, wins, and successes. This is all from Novation Title, bringing a different experience into your world so that we can all uplift each other. Until next time.